First United Methodist Church is a vibrant community that dates back to 1865. For over 140 years, our church has been ministering to the needs of our members and to the community at large. And while facilities and faces have changed over the years, one thing remains the same: our commitment to Christ, to one another, to downtown Ames, and to the betterment of our community. Our vision states that we are a vital church connecting people with God and with each other. Our church today is an active community comprised of almost 1,200 members. Led by dedicated pastoral staff and a strong core of lay leaders and volunteers, there is an increasing number of ways that people of all ages can participate in the spiritual, educational, social, and service ministries of our church. Yet despite our strong heritage of activity and accomplishment, some significant challenges still remain. We have an active and growing faith community, and as such, our facilities are in constant use. While updates to the facility and the purchase of the annex building several years ago provided us with much-needed improvements, we once again face the challenge of meeting the various needs of our members and the community by further improvements of our facilities. The most prevalent among our needs is to improve accessibility within our facility, provide youth, Sunday school, and gathering space, and create centralized office space. We believe that all people need access to our facility for worship, study, service, and community. Addressing accessibility issues within our facility is crucial because our facility poses a significant challenge to anyone with physical limitations. Our small elevator prevents large and motorized wheelchairs from adequately fitting into the elevator and has sometimes caused people to get trapped inside. In addition, people assisting those in wheelchairs often cannot ride in the elevator with the person they are helping, which has been a frightening experience for many visitors. The elevator is complicated to use, and there are numerous reasons and occurrences of its stopping. As a result, many people using wheelchairs or who have mobility difficulties have stated they won't come to church or leave immediately when they cannot easily or safely get beyond the entrance foyer. Visitors with physical limitations also have difficulty in accessing the church offices and lower level. They must enter the foyer and wait for church staff to first see them on the closed-circuit TV and help them negotiate the elevator or stairs. And funeral-related access is also a major concern, especially with large or heavy caskets. Carrying a casket requires the difficult negotiation of many steps, doorways, and narrow hallways. Our church also lacks a welcoming foyer. This transition place is a critical element to a thriving church community. There is no convenient space to gather and chat with visitors and members before services, weddings, and funerals. This makes it very difficult to foster community and has caused visitors to feel unwelcomed. We also lack sufficient gathering spaces for our growing youth and adult education classes. The middle school and high school youth meet in balcony classrooms. The high school youth had been meeting in the annex building but can no longer meet there because of city zoning regulations. Balcony classrooms are not an ideal place to meet because they are only accessible by stairs. This makes it very difficult for a child or youth with any physical limitations to participate. We are also concerned about safety in the event of a fire or any kind of incident. Given all the directions in which youth are pulled today and the distractions constantly put in front of them, we need a comfortable place at church for our youth to call their own, a place to better serve them and make them feel an important part of our faith community. Adult discussion and Bible study classes also encounter challenges in finding suitable places to meet. Currently, they must meet in places such as the quilting room, the library, and the rooms next to Fellowship Hall. These spaces are not ideally suited for classrooms because of the noise and cramped conditions. We also have a need for centralized and more easily accessible church office space with additional rooms. The church offices are often very difficult for visitors to find. Additionally, not all staff are located in one easily identified area. One member of the church staff has an office located in the annex building, which creates communication challenges and inefficiency. It also makes it difficult to foster a close team relationship, which is essential to our ministry. One of the critical issues with office space is having only one real exit in the event of a fire or any kind of threatening incident. One possible solution to some of these problems is to update the annex building. The annex building, however, needs extensive and expensive repairs and is for the most part unusable in its current form for anything but small business or office use. Many repairs to the leaky roof have been unsuccessful. This problem is not only unsightly inside, but creates a strong, moldy smell, which is a significant problem for those with allergies and asthma. During the summer months, the air conditioning must run continuously, including evenings and weekends, to prevent the mold and mildew from spreading. Most of the annex building is zoned for commercial use. The area of the building which houses our ministry offices and programs has been renovated to meet city requirements. Up to half of the building sits unused and for rent. Initial estimates show the cost to bring the rest of the building up to code for meeting space could surpass $1.2 million. These costs could be even higher if the exterior foundation, structural, and roof issues must be addressed, in addition to the fire sprinkler system, new fully accessible bathrooms, new water supply and sewer drain lines, and new heating and cooling systems. It is also not feasible to construct a larger elevator within the existing church structure and provide full access to all floors, including the education wing. The cost to construct a new south entrance with a new full-sized elevator and relocated stairways would cost between $1.5 and $2 million alone. It is unlikely the city would even permit this option because of the loss of city parking spaces. If the city did permit this option, the church would need to purchase the land, which would add significantly to the cost of the project. Repairs to the church building and annex building that would address accessibility and meeting space issues are estimated to cost a minimum of $2.7 million and could likely be as high as $3.5 million if the city would even allow these plans to go forward and allow us to build on valuable parking spaces. So to address these issues, the building committee has worked diligently to develop an exciting plan based on these critical needs and inputs from the congregation. It calls for the expansion of our church building to include a new elevator, covered visitors entrance, dedicated youth area, adult meeting space, multipurpose room, welcoming foyer, and secured centralized offices. The city and the church would transfer ownership of land. The new land owned by the city would become a larger corner parking lot. The current church building would expand directly to the south, approximately 53 feet into that current parking lot. A new full-sized elevator would be installed in the south addition and would access the various floors of the building, including the education wing. So, to address our needs and plans, we are initiating an intensive fundraising effort titled Building on the Past, Reaching for the Future campaign. Our aim with this important effort is to raise the funds required to provide improved accessibility, expand our gathering space, and create centralized office space. In order to reach our financial objectives, we will need both a substantial number of givers and a few fairly substantial gifts. All members are asked to consider gifts above and beyond what they give in their regular offerings and other contributions, and there is a variety of ways that gifts can be made. Long-term subscriptions or pledges payable over 3 years are easier for most and essential to meeting our goal, since it would be impractical, if not impossible, to reach our objectives with one-time, out-of-pocket gifts. Gifts may be made in monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual installments at the donor's discretion. A 10% initial investment toward your total pledge is requested. Non-cash gifts are an additional or alternative way you can support our cause. You may, for example, wish to consider gifts in kind, such as labor and materials, gifts of securities such as stocks and bonds, gifts of real estate or even personal property such as artwork, automobiles, jewelry, and antiques. And finally, you can also choose to support our efforts through deferred gifts. These are gifts that can be given or arranged for now, but will not be received until later, and include gifts through a person's will by bequest, gifts of life insurance policies or annuities, and gifts in trust. There are also a number of very special gift opportunities available to donors of qualifying gift amounts. These opportunities allow people the unique chance to designate their gift to a particular part of the project and dedicate them in honor or memory of those they choose. Donors of specific gift items will have their names and/or names of those they are honoring with their gifts inscribed directly on the item given or on special plaques or nameplates placed on or near the item where appropriate. In addition, all donors, regardless of the size of their gift, will have their names listed in a special bulletin insert announcing campaign results, as well as on a special donor wall or donor book that will be displayed in a prominent and visible place within our facility. But whatever the gift or method of making it may be, please be assured that your support is both urgently needed and greatly appreciated. Through the prayerful, volunteer, and financial support of many, and the extraordinary support of a few, we will succeed in our task. Won't you please join us in this exciting and essential effort to better our service to one another, to our community, and to Christ?